Hey guys, how's it going? So it's been a minute. I've been playing a bunch, so much so that it's been pretty difficult to actually find time to um, record videos. It's I've done quite a number of events. If you look at these results here, a bunch of Nexus Nights and a total of 3 skirmishes since the last update video that I went on. 2 of the skirmishes I played Draven, and then the most recent skirmish I played yesterday was with Tempo Victor. Tempo Victor is back, baby. Tempo Victor is back. But yeah, also played a bit of Control Victor and then some Jax, just in Nexus Nights to test and have fun, and then just skirmishes and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go through like the Nexus Nights like really quickly. So this day was a Nexus Night. I went 3-0 with Draven because this deck is broken. I haven't really touched the deck since my last video. I made like a couple changes, but I think. Oh yeah, I actually didn't even talk about the other changes in my previous video. So I'll go over that really quickly before I go into like take a deeper dive into the Tempo Victor list. But I had like this next night here that I went 3-0. This right here was a skirmish. So I went like 3-0 really quickly into the in the Swiss. It was a 5-round Swiss. I went 3-0-2 to get into top 8 as 5th seed. I won round 1, and then round 2 I got down paired, and then round 3 I got down like so. I went 1-0 after round 1. Round 2, I got down paired into a 0-0-1. And then round 2, I got down paired into a 1-0-1, even though I was 2-0. So my like tiebreakers were really bad. And I'm like 90% sure I was just supposed to play round 4 and go 4-0-1 to guarantee myself first seed. But I didn't do that. I ended up as 4th seed or something, which is like fine. But you know, seeding is like important, especially when you're playing Draven and like you know that you're gonna be playing against other Dravens in you know that you're gonna be playing other Dravens, so you like want to go first in those matchups. But yeah, and then first round of top 8, I played against Master Yi, and I lost. It was like a really difficult matchup. It was like really awkward to play the matchup out. It was the first time I've played Yi with Draven, so I do think I made some like mulligan mistakes. And gameplay mistakes, but fundamentally what the difference was like Ruin Runner would just like run over me. Like I think there was a game where I had all 3 Overzealous fans and then all 3 fighter flights, and he had like 2 Ruin Runners out on the board, and I was like, oh well, I guess I just have like 6 dead cards in my hand. So I did lose that, so I placed 5th at the skirmish, which is like fine, but I definitely could have done better. I'm pretty sure if I won this round I was gonna win that skirmish, but whatever, that's how it is. I played another Nexus Knight as Draven, and then I was kind of like done with playing Draven at Nexus Knights. It felt kind of rude, like walking up and just destroying everyone with Draven because his deck is like so disgusting. So I started playing other decks, kind of more for fun. Played Jax, went 2-1 with Jax. Deck is super fun. I have such a great time with Jax. He's really fun. He's just like not super great. Like he's fun and he's like pretty good. But if you make mistakes, you like kind of start to lose, and the lines aren't really clear because all your cards kind of do different things. So they kind of need to gel in a way that is actually good instead of like drawing too much of one thing and not enough of another thing. It kind of feels like a Zir, but like actually good. But yeah. This Victor, I believe this was Control Victor. I played Control Victor. Man, I hate Control Victor. It's not like 39 spell Victor. It's very similar to the one that I was running at like the beginning of Spiritforged to test, and I did not like it. I hate Control Victor. It's so bad. But I went 2-1 at this Nexus Night, and then I played Jax again. Went 2-1 again. But yeah. Then I played another skirmish. This one, this was the Swiss. So round 1 I played against Ezreal and won 2-0. That one was pretty easy. Oh, sorry. This skirmish I did win. Yeah. Played Ezreal 1-2-0, played Aurelia 1-1-2. I like made some mistakes that I shouldn't have made. But I mean, like it's like sneaky deckhand going for, or going like I played a 2-drop, like they played Obelisk, I played a 2-drop. They played Deckhand onto Reavers with 1 mana up, and I have Tide Turner on board. And I like run into the Deckhand, and like the interaction that I had in my hand, I think, was like only bad into exactly Defiant Dance. Like if you had On Guard, I think I was fine. I forget how it worked, but I think there was like some +2 that I was getting. I literally do not remember. This was a while ago. But yeah, so I like lost that game. I just like made some bad plays, and he like had some really good draws. Like there was one where in game 3, on my like going second to Obelisk game, I like played Draven turn 1, and then he plays like Stella Coin or something. Like turn 1 he plays like the boots, and then turn 2 he plays Stella Coin. I walk Draven onto the point and then play Vex on top. He like runs into the other battlefield, draw, score a point, fight or flights with the Vex away, ride the winds into the Draven, kill the Draven, and then charm the Vex in. So I like lost like a million units. I was like super far behind, and I lost that game. I think like the mid-range Draven Irelia matchup is still like favored for Draven, but I just misplayed and didn't do that well. Set number 3 was Draven vs Kai'Sa. I went 2-0. Draven VIKTOR, I went 2-0 again. And then Draven Irelia, I went 2-0. So I went 4-1. I like went 3-1, and I was like thinking about drawing and go 3-1-1. But like after the previous week, where I just took the draws into top 8 and like got a seed that I wasn't really happy with, I thought like this time I might as well just play for a higher seed. So instead of going 3-1-1, I ended up going 4-1, or I tried going for 4-1. I did get 4-1, and I ended up as first seed going into top cut. Top cut, first round was into Ornn, which is pretty interesting. That's kind of like the nice thing about being a first seed, is you play against 8th, and 8th seed like is usually some random 3-2 deck that isn't particularly good. So it was good. 2-0'd that Ornn player. Game 2, I played against Draven. I believe this Draven was a detonate Draven list. It was fine. His like draws were really bad, and like I took some risks in one of the games. He like ran Battering Ram with an axe on it into my Darius, and I only had 2 mana up, so I like axed the Darius, which like loses to a lot of stuff. Like it doesn't lose to like a ton of stuff, but it does lose to like Rebuke, and like it doesn't really lose to that much, but it like loses to second axe, it loses to Rebuke, stuff like that. But I was like, you know, I wanted to force him to have it, and I was like pretty up at that point. And if it was like a straight out trade, like my axe for his Battering Ram, like I wasn't really too upset with that, because I think the points were like 6-1 or something, or 5-1 or 6-1 or something at that point, and I still had units in base. So I thought like I should force out the interaction while I had it. And what the axe did is it actually forced out a fight or flight, and that was like really good. I'm like I was super happy to get the fight or flight out for something like that, because I get to retain the axe anyways, so it was good. I won that 2-0, and then finals was mid-range Draven Mirror, where I won that 2-0 as well. I always like still don't really know how I'm winning these Draven Mirrors, to be honest. I never feel like there's a clear path to victory. There's some cards that I think are good or some cards that I think are bad that Dravens are still running in the list, like especially games 2 and 3, like after the sideboarding, they're still like running some like suspect cards. So that might be why, but yeah, I still have to explore the Draven Mirror a little bit more just to understand fully why I'm winning, because I'm winning my Draven Mirrors like quite often, and I don't know why. After that, you can see I've been playing only VIKTOR. I've been playing Tempo VIKTOR. I've been like after winning 2 skirmishes with Draven, like I've attended 3 skirmishes with Draven, and I went 1st, 5th, 1st, dropping a total of 3 sets in 3 skirmishes. No, 2 sets. 2 sets in 3 skirmishes with Draven. So I'm like, you know, I've kind of proven myself at this point. I want to play a deck that's more fun, and I wanted to see if Tempo VIKTOR has like has any sauce, like if there's anything I can do with Tempo Victor. So I brewed him up and I attended a bunch of Nexus nights with him. So I went to this one, went 3-0. Oh, sorry. This one was 2-0 because it was only 4 players. In this Nexus night, it was really, really small. It was like Leona Lux, so it was like, it didn't really matter. This 2-0 didn't really matter. I had a 3-0 here, which was interesting. I played into mid-range Draven, into Detonate Draven, into Nocturne Miracle Ezreal list, basically. I 2-0'd all of them. I think I was only able to beat the mid-range Draven because this mid-range Draven was basically piloting the mid-range Draven for the first time. He like hasn't played it since Origins, and I let him borrow my mid-range Draven list. So he was piloting the deck for the first time. We got matched up into round 1. I know the entire list because it's my list, so it was really, really easy for me to play around everything, and he like wasn't really experienced with the deck. So 2-0'd him. Not very indicative of the matchup, trust me. And then I played against Detonate, and the Detonate player is like also not super experienced with the Detonate matchup either, or with the Detonate Draven list either. And then I played against Ezreal. I think the Nocturne mid-range Ezreal list isn't like really that good. It's like really, really inconsistent. I think my opponent in like the 2 games that we played didn't actually flip into Nocturne any times. I think he drew all his Nocturnes. He would like Ezreal discard a card, draw into Nocturne, something like that. Never got them out. And I think like the matchup's fine anyways. Like being able to use Singularity and Wages of Pain and stuff like that is still quite good into the matchup. And something like Imperial Decree Bellows is also really good as well into the matchup. Then I played another Nexus night. I played against Aurelia. That matchup is like pretty scuffed, especially the game 1 is really, really scuffed. I think I'm supposed to be running a salvage in the main board, but we can talk about the changes a little bit after that. Then I played a Rek'Sai. It was the Phoenix Rek'Sai. I think the list is fine, but I don't think it really does that well into Victor. He has like some things that are interesting, like being able to run a Forerunner in games 2 and 3 because he has seals to be able to pay for it is like interesting. But I think Victor's still favored into the matchup. And then round 3 was Ornn. And that matchup is like so horrific for Ornn, like especially games 2 and 3. I think I like turn 1, like in game 2, like game 1 was like actually pretty close. I don't remember like exactly what happened in game 1, but it was like reasonably close in game 1. I had to like run into the Ornn with like 20 might in order to kill it once, and then I was able to actually win the game. But I had to like build up my board for like 3 or 4 turns in order to actually get there. And then like game 2 was like so disgusting. Like turn 1, I think it was like we were playing. We might have been playing like Arena Obelisk or something like that, or something like, yeah, it might have been like Arena Obelisks. So like turn 1 I like develop. Turn 2, they play like some gear. And then like my turn 2, I develop more, score a bunch of points. And their turn 2, they like play more gear. No, they played Ornn and attached GA. And then my turn 3, I top deck salvage. I salvaged the GA and I called weak the Ornn, and they just instantly scoop. Like that matchup was so fucked up. But yeah, so I won that next night 3-0 as well. So up to this point, I'm like 8-0 with Victor, and I'm like feeling pretty good. A lot of the matchups, it's like a skill diff, but it's fine. I was still happy that like if I am better than my opponent, I'm still able to win, which is like, you know, I'm happy with that. Then this Nexus night on Thursday was like fine. I played against Azir round 1, which is like super easy matchup. Round 2, I played against Draven, mid-range Draven. I lost, so this is the first loss I've had with Tempo Victor. I like should have won. It's like really important to win game 1 because the Arena's Obelisk game is like actually quite reasonable, like pretty easy. I wouldn't say like it's easy to win, but I missed my 2-drop on the Arena's Obelisk game, and I'm like 90% sure that if I had I'm 100% sure that if I had a 2-drop in that game, I would have won that game. So it's like a little unfortunate, but yeah, whatever. Sometimes you're gonna lose games. And then I played against Annie. and I 2'd the Annie, and it was like very, very Origin style Annie. There's some really cool stuff you can do with Annie, like being able to play Rengar. You can like cheat out additional units that you aren't normally able to cheat out, because you can like play a 2-drop. Like if you're at 3 runes, you like play a 2-drop pass, you like get the 2 mana back, and then on their turn, on any trigger, you just play the Rengar. You basically get 5 mana for your 3 mana. It's like kind of awesome. But yeah, so those are the Nexus Nights, and then I attended a skirmish today, and I got second place. I got second place with VIKTOR. It's so funny. Round 1, I played against a Draven. Played mid-range Draven. The player I played against is not like super tryhard, so it was pretty reasonable. Game 2 was pretty close, but I think this matchup is like a skill matchup. Like if your opponent is not playing properly, like it's pretty reasonable. Round 2, I played against Draven again, another mid-range Draven. This one I lost. This one my opponent is just good, so it's difficult to take more games off of mid-range Draven. Then I played against Irelia. Again, Irelia game 1 is pretty scuffed without salvage. But my opponent made like this ridiculous mistake, and like whatever. Like if he's gonna make that mistake, fine. And then game 2 is like pretty easy. Round 3, I played against like Hook Rek'Sai. I like could not keep my runes game 1. My draw was like a little bit awkward. I wasn't able to generate as much gold as I needed to. And then I like recycled down. I was like at 7 runes, and I had to play like Decree Bellows to clear everything. I like couldn't play Recruit, so I had like 1 gold. I think I went down to 4 runes. And then like the next turn he like develops 2 bodies. I like need to Singularity at that turn specifically, or else I lose. So like I can't play a Recruit, and it like goes on for like 4 turns where like I can't play a Recruit because I'm using all my mana on removal, and so I end up losing that game like really close. And then games 2 and 3 were like not close at all. Game 2, I just like ran him over. It was like Arena's Arena's Valma or something like that. And his like his draw was like a little bit awkward, and I won in like 4 turns or something. It's like Arenas to 1, I like play units, and then score to 2, and then score to 4, and then score to 6, and then score to 8. It was like absurdly fast. Like my opponent couldn't really do anything to stop me that game. And then like game 3, he like misses 2-drop, plays Void Rush turn 1 going first, and hits wrong color seal plus second Void Rush, and like basically loses the game on the spot there. And then like the rest of the game was also just like really awkward in terms of his draws and like what he was revealing off of XI. It was horrible. So yeah, I won that like relatively comfortably 2-1. And then so that was and then so I was 3-1, and then I drew into top 8, so I was 3-1-1. And then top 8 happened, so round 1 of top 8 was against Ezreal. This one I won 2-0. Game 1 was like not that close. I talked to my opponent later. He said that his draws like in the mid game were a little bit awkward. And then like game 2 was like the most horrific game. I think he resolved somewhere in the range of like 6 or 7 Bellows Breaths on me, because it was like Bellows Breath, and then like Bellows Breath, and then like Fizz Bellows Breath, and then Arcane Shift Fizz play Bellows Breath, into Fizz Bellows Breath, into Arcane Shift Fizz Bellows Breath, into draw the rest of his deck, and since Fizz recycles the Bellows Breath, he played 2 more Bellows Breath off the top. So it was like 8 Bellows Breaths during the course of the game. My opponent decked himself, getting me from 6 to 7 points. I didn't even win the game from my opponent decking himself. I did win the following turn after he decked himself, but it's like so ridiculous that I could not get to 7 points before my opponent drew all 40 of his cards. It was ridiculous. Probably one of the like craziest games. I was just top decking, and it worked out because my top decks did work out relatively well. Like it did line up well, which is like really lucky. Like I got lucky in the second game. I don't think I was supposed to win that game. My top decks did work out relatively well, but at a certain point, like when he's killing my entire board, if hitting a unit is a good hit off the top, then like my deck is like 80% good hits because it's like the units and the draw spells and then removal. Like there's not really anything else in the deck, so I don't have to worry about like hitting a seal or something anymore. So it was like, yeah, 2-0. In top 4, I put into Kaisa. This Kaisa list was like super Origins coded. It felt like very Origins style. And it was really close. Game 1 I lost. Even though I played Arena's Greatest going first, I lost. I felt like it felt pretty bad. And I like didn't see any of my sideboard cards after that. I put like Watchers and stuff in. And like game 2, my opponent's draws were just like not super great. And I think he played Obelisk in that game, so I have like double 2-drop. I like Conga to 2, Conga to 4, Conga to 6, Conga to 8, and that was like pretty much the game. Well, I don't think it was like that swift, but just like well-placed singularities into his units, and then like having Hidden Blade and stuff. It just like stopped him from being able to play the game that he needed to, and I just won. Game 3 was like so awkward. Like holy crap, that game was horrible. He just like killed everything. We were on double Vilmas. He like I was like 2 points ahead of him in terms of scoring. Was I 2 points? I was 2 points ahead of him. Like I held to 7 and then he held to 6. So he was like a turn behind. He was on one battlefield. I was on the other. I was holding on a battlefield with 3 recruits and a faithful manufacturer, and he had Plundering Poro on base, and he hadn't played his Kaisa yet. Yeah, he like time warps to go to 7. And then he like next turn he just like progress stays to draw more cards and doesn't play the Kaisa. Like I had Hidden Blade in hand for when he runs Kaisa in. And I'm sure he like knew that, but I'm like 90% sure he's supposed to just like accelerate Kaisa in first, eat the Hidden Blade to draw 2, and then like dig for more answers that way. But he didn't end up doing that, and I like miraculously won game 3. It was a horrible game. And then I got to finals. Hell yeah, I got to finals. Finals was against Detonate. I got destroyed. It was not close. It was really not close. My draws in game 1 were like fine. My draws in game 2 were like fine, but not good. And I do think the draws need to line up. Game 1, like my opponent's going first. He plays like Merchant turn 1. And then turn 2 he like walks the Merchant onto Warrens, discards Scrap Heap, conquers Warrens, discards second Scrap Heap, and then plays Draven on top. I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? I just lose the game. So that sucked. But I mean, other than that, it was I like lost pretty quickly. Like I couldn't even keep up in points basically, which was pretty horrible. I ended the game at 7, but I was like conquering from 5 to 7, and then he conquered from 6 to 8, so I just lost. And then game 2, it was like Arena's Obelisk, and like I'm like theoretically supposed to win that game, but you like really want to have Call of the Week in hand, for that, because if you can like play 2-drop Recruit on turn 1, and then turn 2, and turn 1 like they play Draven, and then your turn 2 you can like Call the Week and then like develop more bodies. It's like actually quite good. Like I think you're like guaranteed to win at that point. But I wasn't able to draw Call the Week. So the Draven was actually able to like do things. So the turn I needed to Call the Week, I didn't get Call the Week, and then next turn I drew Call the Week, and then the next turn I drew Call the Week, and then the next turn I drew Call the Week. It's like normally I don't complain about getting Call the Week, but when they're able to Call the Week like Ezreal, and like leave Rasas and like battering rams and stuff, it like kind of sucks. But yeah, so I got second. Can't complain about getting second. These are my stats so far. I thought it'd be like interesting to show it. These are like all the win rates into like all the matchups and all the decks and stuff. Not like super interesting. Here is like slightly more interesting. This Kaisa, like, okay, I have not touched Kaisa at all since Vegas, so these stats are still the same. These are my Draven stats. I have 28 wins, 28 set wins, 3 losses and 1 draw for an 88% win rate, more or less. I have the 3 best of 1 Ezreal games. I went 2-1. I have my Viktor. So I have this is like kind of amalgamates the Control Viktor and the Tempo Viktor stats, but I have 18 wins and 5 losses. My Control Viktor, if you see here, my control Victor, I'm at 4-2, and my tempo Victor, I'm at 15-3. So I definitely like tempo Victor a little bit more than control Victor. I've played a lot more games of it, and I've had a lot better of a time with it as well. And then I also have 6 games with Jax, going 4-2 with Jax. I think Jax is like fun. Jax is really fun. But yeah, so that's all the stats and everything that I went over. And then we can talk about a couple decks. So first, let's talk about Draven. So this is like the current Draven list that I'm running. I think there's like some changes that I could make. I'm bringing Draven again to another skirmish this upcoming weekend, which will be interesting. But we'll see. We'll see what I end up running with. I'll probably test it a little bit on like maybe some Nexus nights this week, if I want to test any changes. But there's nothing that's like really striking me right now that I want to change. Mostly this deck has been pretty solid. If you're like comparing it to the previous video that I did, I had like alluded to some changes that I wanted to make. I believe the changes that I made were 1 shakedown, 1 more rebuke in the main board. It might have been 2 rebukes in the main board to begin with. Switcheroo went into the main board, and then 2 Vex went into the main board, taking out 2 Ferris Forerunner. I took out the Falling Stars because Falling Star sucks. And then the sideboard that I'm using right now is 1 Rengar because he's like really funny and he has a lot of good use into the Draven Mirror. 1 Assembly Rig, 1 Thermo Beam, 3rd Bryn here, and then the 2 Ferris Forerunners and like 2 Mind Splitters. I think there's like some interesting ideas you can put into the sideboard. Like 3rd Vex is interesting. 3rd Rebuke, 2nd Switcheroo, 2nd Hard Bargain or like 3rd Hard Bargain is pretty interesting to the sideboard. I think what I might do is put like 1 more Hard Bargain for like Bryn here, or like 1 more Hard Bargain for Mind Splitter or something like that. I'll probably need to test it like a smidge more, but this is the current list that I'm running, and I think it's fine. I like it. So that's the Draven list. We'll quickly go over the Victor list because it's like hilarious that it's like able to function, but it's like kind of bad still. It's still kind of bad. Oh, I forgot I made this change. Anyways, sorry. So this is the legend. It's Herald of the Arcane, obviously. 5 Order Runes, 7 Mind Runes. Very similar to the way I was running Victor in Origins. The battlefields, War Camp, Arenas, and I have Void Gate shown here. I think Void Gate is actually correct. But today I ran Vilemaz because I forgot that I switched it to Void Gate. I like literally forgot until I just pulled this up. So I was running Vilemaz today, but I think Void Gate is probably correct. Vilemaz like doesn't really have a ton of use, and Void Gate is just better because there's like more damage-based removal that you're running in the deck now. So it's pretty good, and it doesn't really affect you that much because all your units are like die to everything anyways. So yeah. Or a yellow Victor in this deck because it's a tempo Victor list and not a control Victor list. 2 Bellows Breath. There's like a very real reason to go to 3 Bellows Breath, but if you don't have like the combo pieces, Bellows Breath is like a really awkward card. It basically has 1 use outside of the combo, which is killing a Treasure Hunter turn 1. You can like 2-drop, kill a Treasure Hunter with Bellows. It's like kind of worth it. I'm running 2 Facebreakers. I was testing 2 Facebreakers today. It was originally 2 Smokescreen. I think Facebreaker is incorrect. I think this slot is probably like 1 Salvage and then 1 Smokescreen, or 1 Salvage and 1 other like positively interaction spells. So the idea with Facebreaker was like, I just want to like hold off Draven in the early game, so that I can like get enough points so that I can like Imperial Bellows and win the game. The problem is like it's hard to hold 2 mana up with Facebreaker, and you like really don't want to hide Facebreaker because it like loses to all interaction. Like it loses to like fight or flight. And it like loses to a lot of interaction. It just like stalls, you know, which is like fine, but like not great. So I think Facebreaker needs to be removed. It's probably like Salvage Smokescreen or something like that. 3 Honest Broker, 3 Plundering Paro is the 2 drops in the list. I like them. It's like way better than Glory Seeker Daring Poro. Daring Poro is like kind of alright. I like Daring Poro. But it's like way better than the Glory Seeker Color Glory package that we were running in set 1. So yeah. Creating gold is really important for this deck. This deck is not running any seals anymore. You like lose the high roll potential on like seal Vanguard Captain, but it's like not a big deal because gold, like generating enough gold is really important because gold can pay for blue power costs as well. So if you're like paying for Sprite Mother or paying for Singularity or paying for Riptide or something with blue with treasure, you're like still pretty happy. The problem with running yellow seals previously was that it was like 5 yellow, 7 blue as the rune base. So if you're running yellow seal, there's sometimes where you just whiff on all your yellow runes, and then you could not pay any of your singularities or Riptide with seals. So I think the gold package is still better. So I'm running the gold package. 3 Call the Week because Call the Week's broken. 3 Hidden Blade because Hidden Blade's broken. 3 Faithful Benefactor because it's just a really good card. 3 Wages of Pain. This card is incredible. It's so good. It just does everything you want it to. 3 Vanguard Captains. It's like it's a super awkward card. Like this card is so awkward, but I think this card actually carries Viktor. It's like the most efficient way to just put infinite bodies onto the board, and the difference between like resolving Vanguard, like the difference between a board that has Vanguard Captain on it and a board that doesn't have Vanguard Captain it's like night and day. Like the other 3 drops just do not get you there at all. This is running also running 1 Sinjo. Sinjo for the most part has been fine. He's not been great. Every time I play him, I feel like he's just okay. He's just okay. He's good enough to keep in the deck, but functionally right now he's a 4th worst Sprite Mother. I still think Sprite Mother is better than Sinjo by a pretty significant margin. I would much rather run 4th Sprite Mother over Sinjo. 3 Consult the Past because Consult the Past, you need a card draw in this deck. I'm really excited for set 3 where you get the new card draw for 2, but we'll talk about that later. So 3 Consult the Past. The number of times I was hard casting Consult the Past before this event was like ridiculous. So often, I hate it. It's sometimes you have to do it though. You generate enough gold so that you end up with like a decent amount of runes on all the games. So you can actually hard cast Consult the Past. As long as you're not hard casting Consult the Past in like turn 2, it's like not that big of a deal. We have 3 Sprite Mothers because the Sprite Mother is just so good in this deck. Being able to create 2 bodies instead of 1 with Sinjo is really important. The 2 bodies makes Viktor generate 2 recruits instead of 1 recruit. Having a body in the base is so important for this list because the play pattern is like you run into a battlefield with minimal investment, they run into you, you kill their things, and you run back in with more units, and you refill your base every single time, so that you always have at least 2 units in your base, so that you can reconquer the following turn. That's like kind of the play pattern with this list. So Sprite Mothers both halves is that. It is a unit that enters ready and is able to conquer immediately, and also creates a unit at base. Sprite Mother is so good. 3 Imperial Decree. I was already running 3 Imperial Decree in Origins, and now having access to Imperial Decree Bellows is so good. It like solves all your matchups if you're ever able to draw into it. It's just hard to draw into it, which sucks, but that's what happens when you're running a 2-card combo, right? It's running 1 Riptide. I think Riptide is like fine. It's like a smidge slow, so that's why I just have 1. So just like how Xin Zhao is like 4th bad Sprite Mother, Riptide is 4th bad Singularity. Singularity is like it's like better into this meta in terms of what it does, but it's like a little bit worse into the meta in terms of how vulnerable it is to interaction. Things like Spinning Axe on 4 might units really sucks. Things like Hard Bargain is really bad. Not So Fast is really bad. Deflect is really bad. So Singularity is like a little bit worse positioned in this meta in terms of interaction, but in terms of the targets, it's really good. So I think you still run 3 Singularities and you're happy to run 3 Singularities, but like just know that it does get sided out relatively often, like especially against Irelia. Singularity gets sided out quite often. But yeah. Sideboard, I think is like completely fine. Like I'm fine with the sideboard. It's like 1 Bellows because there are some matchups where you like desperately need to get Imperial Decree Bellows. Like some matchups you're fine with just running 3 decrees and 2 bellows, because your recruits work as bellows. You know, you just like run your recruits in. Some decks really need the bellows decree combo, like against Miracle. It's really important. Against like Irelia, it's actually quite important to get bellows, stuff like that. So having 3rd bellows is good. 3 salvage. 1 salvage definitely has to go into the main board. Playing against Irelia without salvage is so awkward. It's like 1 salvage, like leaning towards 2 salvage in the main board, but it's probably just 1 salvage because it's really bad to Draven. 2 pickpockets. The nice thing about moving a salvage to the main board is you can get to put a 3rd pickpocket in this in the sideboard, and pickpocket is so good. Hitting a seal feels so good. And sometimes just like having another 3-drop that just like does things is nice. So I really want to go to 3 pickpocket, and then like 2 watchers. There's like the watcher bellows combo as well, instead of the decree bellows combo. So what you can do is like put the bellows in, put 2 watchers in, and take 1 decree out. So you have like 4 enablers and like 3 of the bellows breath. So it like still balances out. You still want to have more like enablers than you do like the combo payoff, because Watcher in itself is good, and you like run recruits in and trade it off and stuff. So I think it's fine. Watcher still doesn't deserve a place in the main board. This list is still a little bit too fast for Watcher, and Watcher kind of gets destroyed by Switcheroo and Defiant Dance and Fight or Flight and Rebuke and every fucking card, and Hidden Blade and everything. So Watcher is so much worse in Spiritforged than it is in Origins. But that's just how it is. There's some decks where you want to run Watcher, things like against Orange and Green. Against non-purple Orange and Green decks, you probably want to run Watcher. So yeah, so that's the Viktor list. Probably gonna be changing. Probably taking out the face breakers for salvage, stupefied, salvage, smokescreen, something like that. But yeah, so Tempo Vic is back, baby. I'm glad I got second at the event. It's hilarious. I got second at the event. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know.